Hey guys, so I am here at the Floatworks today with Ed, and we're going to be talking about stress relief via the use of sensory deprivation. But first, before Ed explains exactly what the Floatworks is and what a flotation tank is, have a quick look around me and take a look where I am. So here you can see the nice big flotation tank and the shower in the same room. So, quick around. So just here with Ed. So Ed, please introduce yourselves to the people watching, and what is the Floatworks and what is a flotation tank?
Sure, thanks Christian. So for everyone watching, the Floatworks is a flotation centre based in London, in Vauxhall in central London. We've been going since April this year. Sensory deprivation is the practice of getting into a large 7 feet by 9 feet tank of water that is saturated with over half a tonne of Epsom salts. Within the tank, as you just saw when Christian turned the camera around, there's a blue light, and when you climb into the tank and lie back in the solution, you can lean over and turn that light off. The water's heated to body temperature, which is between 34.5 and 35.5 degrees. So you can't feel the water because it's the same temperature as your skin. You're floating and the lights are off. So you can't see, you can't hear, and you can't feel anything. So you're effectively just experiencing your own consciousness.
Right, so what I want everyone to get across from this video as well is exactly what that does. So you might remember earlier in one of the previous videos we started talking about the amygdala and how the amygdala is part of the brain that is responsible for interpreting pain in our body. So pain, remember, doesn't come from our body, it comes from our brain deciding what to determine is pain. So Ed, tell us a little bit about what the flotation tank will do to the amygdala and what this sensory deprivation does.
Sure, so there's lots and lots of research around flotation therapy because there are so many benefits. But some of the strongest research that's being done at the moment is being done in America with a guy called Justin Feinstein, and he's put EEGs on people, waterproof EEGs on people as they float, and what he's found is that the longer you float, the less activation in the amygdala. So when the fight or flight response is dampened down in the amygdala, the body produces less cortisol. So also the hormone cortisol, the stress hormone, drops in the blood as well.
Now, I mean, cortisol is a massive thing. I mean, it's a massive cause for many, many health conditions today. Most people will be suffering from some excess level of cortisol. Stress is such a big thing in today's world. I mean,
sure.
And not like the old type of stress where we used to be chased by saber-toothed tigers around every corner, but it's like new, small, little minor tidbit of stress, but it's constant, it's all day. So this stress is a massive issue for people. And the rising cortisol is actually one of the leading causes of diabetes, causing insulin insensitivity or insulin resistance. And as well, you mentioned earlier about the half a tonne of Epsom salts in the tank. Now that has a ton of benefits that we're going to talk about, but particularly I want to just mention quickly about the benefits of Epsom salts in increasing insulin sensitivity. So with the reduce in cortisol and the increase in insulin sensitivity from the magnesium within the Epsom salts, there's a massive improvement on health benefits just from that. So I mean, this is why I'm a huge advocate of floating and flotation tanks and sensory deprivation, because we constantly run around with so much stimulus. I mean, Ed, you talk about this a lot.
Yeah, so I think that, as Christian just said, so cortisol is useful. So if you're attacked by a saber-toothed tiger, then you need to run away, and you need that spike in cortisol to get you moving. And I think it's also very important to always carry a degree of stress when you're going into a high-impact situation. However, living in urban environments with our phones on all the time, it's always possibly connected. There's always something pinging away at you in the background. There's cars whizzing by, there's overpacked tubes to contend with. And so we're always operating at a level of stress, and there's always a level of cortisol in our blood that's unhealthy. And as Christian said, the knock-on impact of that is huge. So with flotation, and particularly in relation to stress, everybody who comes here, I mean, perhaps 1% of people who get in and just can't get comfortable and perhaps need another session to get used to it, but 99% of the people who do this leave feeling remarkably stress-free. It increases the quality of sleep as well. So carrying that cortisol around in the blood all day, lots of people think they have insomnia or a sleep disorder. It's actually just an overload of stimulation and stress. So we've found that floating is fantastic for improving quality of sleep as well. And also creativity. So reducing the level of cortisol in the blood and also reducing the amount of external stimuli coming into the brain, it frees up the resources in the mind to focus on things like creativity and looking at what your next move is going to be, as opposed to contending with the day-to-day bombardment of external stimuli.
There was an interesting point in the book, the How to Float book that you've got in the chill out room up there. Yeah. And that was talking about how the left and right hemisphere of the brain work, and about creativity and about structure, to about almost intuitive intelligence as well. Mm-hmm. And the effect that flotation has on that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, beyond the psychological benefits it has on people and the way they think, there's also a ton of physical benefits, not only in the brain but in the body, like I said.
I mean, so a good example, we have a lady with scoliosis of the spine who's been taking medical interventions, she's been doing physiotherapy, she's been doing yoga, all of which have helped, but they've never truly relieved her of pain. And she came to float with this and she was very sceptical. Her yoga teacher told her, you really should try this. She came down and she floated, and when she was in there, she felt a lot of tension in her back, in her neck, and also in her lower back. And she was questioning whether or not this was valuable for her. But the sheer relief of having no impact of gravity on the whole body and allowing all of the musculoskeletal systems to align in their natural position, although not prevalent when she was in the tank, when she left for the first time in many years, she felt loose, and she's now coming 3 times a week, and she's virtually pain-free. So that's one of the really powerful physical benefits that we've seen.
I'm going to link these two things we talked about together: the magnesium in the Epsom salts, and also the decrease in stimulus to the amygdala. Now, this is a massive cause of something like this happening. It's huge. I mean, imagine suddenly being pain-free after years of struggling. But the magnesium also is really good for not only your nervous system. Your nervous tissue will need a lot of magnesium to function properly. Yeah. But the magnesium is also proven to be a muscle relaxant and help reduce stress and inflammation in a lot of places, especially joints, and for arthritis. There's been a lot of anecdotal evidence to suggest that it's very good for this. That, with the decrease in stimulus to the amygdala, which, as we spoke before, is how we perceive pain, would make a massive difference to anyone suffering from chronic pain.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the key areas that we focus on at the Floatworks are performance, and that may be lying in the tank and escaping all external stimuli and examining your performance in different areas of your life. For example, we have lots of mixed martial artist guys come down here who use the tank to visualise the moves that they're going to take their opponent through, or moves that they've been working on. So there's the performance side of things. Recovery, and by that we mean the pain relief stuff that you're talking about, but also just the pure musculoskeletal relief. Exploration as well is something that we talk about. So we haven't really touched upon that, but when you're alone in a tank and you have no external stimuli whatsoever, that is a place to explore your own consciousness. We've had people, more than one person who's come in here, floated, and one guy decided to quit his job. We had another guy who decided to go travelling for 6 months. So it is a place that starts to unlock your own consciousness and helps you think about what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Helps you become more of who you are.
Absolutely.
Truly.
Yeah.
As well, this is something I recommend for all of my clients and everyone that works with me, and anyone that even socialises with me, to come down and do a float. Because let's face it, people are busy, and if I tell you to take an hour out of your day and chill out and relax, something will get in the way. But to actually come and book yourself into one of these things and have an hour of your day in a float tank with decreased sensory stimulus for an hour, that's a big thing for most people.
And without fail, I mean, one of the most rewarding things for me and my business partners since we've set this business up is that without fail, we're having positive feedback. You can't come here, you may come here and do this and be daunted at the thought of getting into a tank. The very phrase sensory deprivation is for some people quite intimidating. But once you're in there and you allow yourself to relax, it's an environment like no other, and the feeling that you get and the benefits that you take from that are also, it's not something that you can find every day in everyday life.
So again, this is the Floatworks in Vauxhall. So I've linked them into the heading of this video, so please do click on them, check them out. They're definitely worth a go. And this video again is for one of the videos for the run up for my event, Unleash Your Superhuman and Master Your Life. And this is another one of the goodies that we're giving away, because Floatworks are sponsoring the event as well. So you'll get discount or possibly a free float depending if you buy a VIP ticket. And you can come down here and enjoy yourself in the Floatworks. So make sure you get a ticket to the event. And if you don't get a ticket to the event, buy the recording. Okay, that will be available to people. The links will be going up soon. And if you get a chance at any point to come down and have a float, I highly recommend it. Alright, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching again, and I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, guys.